Valmiki Ramayana, Ayodhya Kanda, Book number 118, Roman numerals CXVIII, 118, ANASÚYÁ'S gifts. Thus by the holy dame addressed, who banished envy from her breast, her lowly reverence Sita paid, and softly thus her answer made. No marvel, best of dames, thy speech the duties of a wife should teach. Yet I, O lady, also know due reverence to my lord to show. Where were he the meanest of the base, unhonored with a single grace, my husband still I ne'er would leave, but firm through all to him would cleave. Still rather to a lord like me, still rather to a lord like mine, whose virtues high exalted shine, compassionate, of lofty soul, with every sense in due control, true in his love, of righteous mind, like a dear sire and mother kind, and as he ever loves to treat Kaushalya with observance meet, has his behavior ever been to every other honored queen. Nay, more, a son-like reverence shows to noble Rama and to those on whom the king his father set his eyes one moment to forget. Deep in my heart the words are stored, said by the mother of my Lord, when from my home I turn away, in the lone fearful woods to stray. The counsel of my mother deep, impressed upon my soul I keep. When by the fire I took my stand, and Rama clasped in his my hand, and in my bosom cherished yet, my friend's advice I ne'er forget. Woman, her holiest offerings pay, when she her husband's will obeys. Good Savitri her lord obeyed, and a high saint in heaven was made. And for the self same virtue thou hast heaven in thy possession now. And she with whom no dame could vie, now a bright goddess in the sky. Sweet Rohini, the moon's dear queen, without her lord is never seen. And many a faithful wife beside, for her pure love is glorified. Thus Sita spake, soft rapture stole through Anasuya's saintly soul. Kisses on Sita's head she pressed, and thus the mighty dame addressed. I, by long rites and toils endured, rich store of merit have secured. From this my wealth will I bestow, a blessing ere I let thee go. So right and wise and true each word that from thy lips mine ears have heard. I love thee, be my pleasing task, to grant the boon that thou shalt ask. Then Sita marveled much, and while played o'er her lips a gentle smile. All has been done, O saint, she cried, and naught remains to wish beside. She spake, the lady's meek reply swelled ANASÚYÁ'S rapture high. Sita, she said, my gift today, thy sweet contentment shall repay. Accept this precious robe to wear, of heavenly fabric rich and rare. These gems thy limbs to ornament, these precious balms sweet of scent. O my till dame, this gift of mine shall make thy limbs with beauty shine, and breathing o'er thy frame dispense its pure and lasting influence. These balms on thy fair limbs spread, new radiance on thy Lord shall shed. As Lakshmi's beauty lends a grace to Vishnu's own celestial face. Then Sita took the gift the dame bestowed on her in friendship's name, the balms, gems, and robe divine, and garlands breathe of bloomy twine. Then set her down with reverence meet at saintly ANASÚYÁ'S feet. The matron rich in rites and vows turned her to Rama's mighty spouse, and questioned thus in turn to hear a pleasant tale to charm her ear. Sita, 'tis said that Raghu's son thy hand mid gathered suitors won. I fain would hear thee, lady, tell the story as it all befell. Do thou repeat each thing that passed, reviewing all from first to last. Thus spake the dame to Sita, she, replying to the devotee. Then, lady, thy attention lend, rehearse the story to the end. King Janak, just and brave and strong, who loves the right and hates the wrong, well skilled in what the law ordains, for warriors o'er Videha reigns. Guiding one morn the plough, his hand marked out for rights the sacred land. When, as the plowshare cleft the earth, child of the king I leapt to birth. Then as the ground he soothed and cleared, he saw me all with dust besmeared, and on the new found babe amazed, the ruler of Videha gazed. In childless love the monarch pressed the welcome infant to his breast. My daughter, thus he cried, is she, and as his child he cared for me. Forth from the sky was heard o'erheard, as 'twere a human voice that said, Ye, even so, great king, this child, henceforth thine own be justly styled. Videha's monarch, virtuous souled, rejoiced o'er me with joy untold, delighting in his new won prize, the darling of his heart and eyes. To his chief queen of saintly mind the precious treasure he consigned, and by her side she saw me grow, nursed with the love which mothers know. Then as he saw the seasons fly, and knew my marriage time was nigh, my sire was vexed with care as sad as one who mourns the wealth he had. Scorn on the maiden's sire must wait from men of high and low estate. The virgin's father all despise, though Indra's peer, who rules the skies, more near he saw, and still more near, the scorn that filled his soul with fear. On trouble's billowy ocean tossed, like one whose shattered bark is lost, my father knowing how I came, no daughter of a mortal dame, in all the regions failed to see a bridegroom meet to match with me. Each way with anxious thought he scanned, and thus at length the monarch planned. The bride's election will I hold, with every rite prescribed of old. It pleased King Varun to bestow quiver and shafts, and heavenly bow, upon my father's sire, who reigned, when Daksha his great rite ordained. Where was the man might bend or lift, with utmost toil, that wondrous gift? Not e'en in dreams could mortal king strain the great bow, or draw the string of this tremendous bow possessed. My truthful father thus addressed the lords of many a region all, assembled at the monarch's call. Whoe'er this bow can manage, he the husband of my child shall be. The suitors viewed with hopeless eyes that wondrous bow of mountain size. Then to my sire they bade adieu, and all with humbled hearts withdrew. At length with Vishwamitra came, this son of Raghu dear to fame, the royal sacrifice to view. Near to my father's home he drew his brother Lakshman by his side. Rama in deeds heroic tried. My sire with honor entertained the saint in lore of duty trained, who thus in turn addressed the king. Rama and Lakshman here who spring from royal Dasharatha long, to see thy bow so passing strong. Before the prince's eyes was laid that marvel, as the Brahman prayed. One moment on the bow he gazed, quick to the notch the string he raised. Then in the wondering people's view, the cord with mighty force he drew. Then with an awful crash as loud as thunderbolts that cleave the cloud, the bow beneath the matchless strain of arms heroic snapped in twain. Thus giving purest water he, my sire to Rama, offered me. The prince the offer gift declined, till he should learn his father's mind. So horsemen swift Ayodhya sought, and back her aged monarch brought. Me, then my sire, to Rama gave, self-ruled, the bravest of the brave. And Urmila, the next to me, graced with all gifts most fair to see, my sire with Raghu's house allied, and gave her to be Lakshman's bride. Thus from the princess of the land, Lord Rama won my maiden hand, and him exalted high above heroic chiefs I truly love. Wow. Absolutely wow. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. This is Ramayana, the elegance, the the amazing development, the storyline, everything with Ramayana is so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The reason why modern professors and think tanks and all this, how to say, so-called educated human beings or human persons don't like to read Ramayana is because when they read Ramayana, they will find these words coming out of Sita, the goddess Sita's mouth, how a woman should behave and how she should treat her husband as the Lord and God with utmost respect and care, a submissive attitude. This kind of cultural behavior for men and women is completely gone by the demoniac persons of this age of Kali. And everybody is eating cows. Everybody is low class human persons. They eat cows. Complete ignorance. On the other hand, man is completely qualified by being true and respectful to the elder persons. After Rama crushed the Haradaru, the bow of Lord Shiva, Rama literally he stringed the bow and he drew the string so powerfully that he snapped the bow in half. Haradaru was so heavy that 300 men, strong, powerful bodybuilders, could carry. That's how heavy that bow was. And Rama was so strong with his arms that looked like clubs, like maces. Like this is the warrior form. Strong, beautiful form. Rama was able to literally snap the bow, Haradaru, in half. And even he gained Sita as his wife. He didn't want to accept her as his wife unless his father approves of it. That's the culture. People were true to their words, to their word, and to their fathers and mothers. And that's why the Kali Yugan persons, they don't like to read Ramayana because it reminds them about the path of virtue, and they don't want to practice the path of virtue. They want to practice the path of vice, eating cows and raping women, gang raping women, and they call it freedom of speech and expression. That's allowed. That's allowed. Eating cows by the whole world and gang raping women, they call it consent. Although she's completely being manipulated into making porns, they call it consent. These university professors, these liberals, and conservatives to be allowing that to happen. It means they're practicing the lowest forms of vice, like that. And the Ramayana is all about utmost forms of virtue practicing that elevates one's soul to heavenly realms, while Kali Yugans are practicing the vilest forms of vice that takes them straight to hell to reincarnate as food to be eaten by another set of ignorant people. Killing animals for profit is so satanic, so diabolical, that you literally have to be out of your effing mind to participate in this satanic globalist Burger King meat grinding industrial complex. And that's why we need to remind ourselves of our regional roots. Sri Ramayana. Jai Sri Ram, Hail Ram, Roma Victor. Victory to Rama. Eternal Rome, eternal Ramayana. Ciao.